ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम्। यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः।
अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच।
श्रीभगवानुवाच।
श्लोक नंबर 18। ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्था मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः।
ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्था मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः।
जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्था अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः।
जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्था अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः।
नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति।
नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति।
गुणेभ्यः परं वेत्ति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति।
गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति।
गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान्
गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान्
जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैर्विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते
जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैर्विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते.
up to that we have seen.
Yes.
गुणाः त्रिविधाः सत्त्वः रजः तमः इति उक्त्वा पूर्वं भवता उक्तं गुणानां फलमपि गुणानां सुकृतस्य सात्विकं फलं निर्मलं राजसस्तु दुःखं तमसः फलम् अज्ञानम् इति पूर्वश्लोके उक्तम् सत्त्वं संजायते कस्मात् सत्त्वात् संजायते ज्ञानं रजसः संजायते लोभः प्रमादमोहो तमसः भवतः अज्ञानम् एव च इति एतेषां कारणं किमिति अपि उक्तं भवतु अन्ते एतैः गुणैः गुणैः शरीरपतनकाले तेषां प्रभावः कथं भवति इति 18 श्लोके उक्तम् ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्ताः सत्त्वगुणवृत्तस्ताः ऊर्ध्वलोकं गच्छन्ति राजसः मध्ये इत्युक्ते भूलोके मनुष्यलोके अस्यां पृथिव्याम् एव तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः तामसाः अधो गच्छन्ति जगन्यगुणवृत्तिस्ताः तामसाः अधः अधो लोकं गच्छन्ति अतः नान्यगुणेभ्यः यदा यदा अन्येभ्यः अन्यं न गुणेभ्यः कर्तारम् अन्यं न पश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं यः वेत्ति सः मद्भावमधिगच्छति गुणेभ्यः अन्यः वर्तते अन्यः पृथक् इत्यर्थः अन्यः सः कर्ता आत्मा गुणैः न संश्लिष्टः गुणैः दोषैः न लिप्तः सः आत्मा अहम् इति यः जानाति सः अनुपश्यति शास्त्रैः गुरुपदेशेन यः अनुपश्यति जानाति सः अहम् आत्मा गुणेभ्यः अन्यः इति गुणेभ्यः परं च इति यः वेत्ति सः मद्भावम् मत्स्वरूपम् ईश्वरस्वरूपम् अधिगच्छति he gains ब्रह्मवित् ब्रह्मयो भवति इत्यर्थः अहं ब्रह्म इति ज्ञात्वा सः ब्रह्म भवति so therefore गुणाः गुणेभ्यः वर्तन्ते अहं ब्रह्म इति मत्वा न सज्जते यथा तृतीयाध्याये उक्तम् गुणेभ्यः अन्यः आत्मा पुरुषः न कर्ता कर्तृत्व अभिमानः अज्ञानेन कर्तृत्व अभिमानः अतः नाशनं ज्ञानेन भवति यदा अहम शरीरमन संगातः इति अभिमानः भवति तदा सः सः एव आत्मा आत्मा एव सः आत्मा अज्ञानेन शरीरमनसंगातवत् दृश्यते। अतः जीवः अपि अहम शरीरवान् देह शरीरमनसंगातवान् मम इन्द्रियाणि मम देहः मम बुद्धिः इति अनात्मसु आत्मत्व बुद्धिः अनात्मसु आत्मत्व बुद्धिः भवति। यदा सः जानाति अहं शरीरमन संगातात् भिन्नः गुणेभ्यः भिन्नः अन्यः यदा जानाति अनुपश्यति तदा सः मद्भावम् अधिगच्छति। अहं गुणेभ्यः परः मम रूपात् मकम् इदं शरीरं तस्मात् अहं भिन्नः इदं जगत् नामरूपात्मकं तस्मात् भिन्नः ब्रह्म। यथा ब्रह्म जगतः भिन्नः भवति ततः शरीरादपि अहं भिन्नः आत्मा। अतः अहम् आत्मा ब्रह्म ब्रह्म ईश्वरः ईश्वरः सः ईश्वरः अहमेव। किन्तु तर्हि जगतः तर्हि जगतः तत्त्वं किं जगतः तद्वत् शरीरस्य मिथ्या। यथा तद्ब्रह्म जगद्रूपेण भासते यथा तद्रूप जगद्रूपेण दृश्यते। जगत् अस्ति जगत् यद्यपि जगत् वास्तविकतया नास्ति ब्रह्म एव अस्ति जगत् भासते तस्मिन् ब्रह्मणि। तद्वत् आत्मा एव अस्ति तस्मिन् आत्मनि इदं शरीरं भासते। शरीरस्य आगमनम् अस्ति शरीरस्य गमनम् अस्ति किन्तु अहम् आत्मा अधिष्ठानरूपेण वर्तते। अहं न कर्ता भवितुं नार्हति भोक्ता भवितुं नार्हति। अतः गुणेभ्यः परम् इति यदा जानाति तदा मद्भावम् ईश्वरभावम् अधिगच्छति इति भगवता उक्तम्। तेन किं भवति सः गुणातीतः तेन गुणातीतः। So that is the next Shloka. Gunatita gunan etan atitya etan gunan atitya etan trin gunan atitya dehi dega samudbhavan etan trin gunan atitya janma mrityu jara duktehi vimuktah bhavati amritam ashnute becomes free moksham prapnoti saha ईश्वर भाव मद्भावम् अधिगच्छति। जीवेश्वर ऐक्यम् अहम् ईश्वरात् न भिन्नः इति ज्ञात्वा ऐक्यं जीवेश्वर ऐक्यं तदेव अमृतं ज्ञानं तज्ज्ञानम् आत्मज्ञानमेव अमृतम् अश्नुते। अमृतम् अमरण धर्मम् अहम् आत्मा अविकारी नित्यः नित्यशुद्ध मुक्त स्वभावः अहम् आत्मा इति ज्ञात्वा अमृतं तदेव अमृतम् अमरण धर्मम्। Not that you will not die. Shariram dies. Atma not dies. Atma doesn't die. So therefore aham atma amritaha nitya shuddha mukta swabhavaha ashnute. He gained praptasya praptihi. Therefore jnanena. Therefore three gunan atitya dega samudhavan three gunan atitya. Therefore dehi janma mrityu jara dukhehi jivaha vimuktaha bhavati becomes free. Janma mrityu jara ityadi yesham sambhavati ajnanina. Ajnani who considers himself to be made of these three gunas. The shariram is made of three gunas: mind, buddhi, etc. Indriyani. Therefore, these are gunas. Therefore, these gunas interact with the gunas. Gunaha guneshu vartante. Then this Atma is just should be a witness. But due to Ajnanam, the Atma taking the role of an individual, Jiva, considers oneself to be a Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamasa, playing different roles, forgetting they are playing the roles. Therefore, Gunavan Bhavati, therefore Samsari. Yada Jnanena Aham Gunatitaha Brahma, Gunatitam Brahma iti Janati, Atma Brahma iti. Then he is free from Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkha. He Vimuktaha, he is free from this Samsara Marana Chakra. So Janma Nasti, Maranam pi Nasti. ये विकाराः अन्ते मध्ये भवन्ति तदपि नास्ति जन्म मृत्यु जरा दुःखिग न जायते न म्रियते न वर्धते न पक्ष्यते न विनश्यति अमृतमश्नुते. Then the Arjuna, he asks the question from where we have to start. Let us read. Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
कैर्लिङ्गै स्त्रीन् गुणानेतानतीतो भवति प्रभो
कैर्लिङ्गैस्त्रीन् गुणानेतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो
किमाचारः कथं चैतान् स्त्रीन् गुणान्नतिवर्तते
किमाचारः
कथं
स्त्रीन् गुणानतिवर्धते.
अर्जुनः उवाच अर्जुनः पृष्टवान् भगवन्तं पृष्टवान् किं पृष्टवान् अर्जुनः पृच्छति यत् यः पुरुषः त्रीन् गुणान् कैः लिङ्गैः त्रीन् गुणान् सत्त्वरजस्तमस् इति त्रीन् गुणान् अतीत्य अतीतः इत्युक्ते मुक्तः भवति तर्हि तस्य लिङ्गानि लक्षणानि कानि किमाचारः कथम् आचरति कथं त्रीन् गुणान् अतिवर्तते कथं केन उपायेन सः एतान् त्रीन् गुणान् अतिवर्तते जयति इत्युक्ते गुणातीतस्य पुरुषस्य स्थितिं ज्ञातुम् अर्जुनः प्रश्नः कृतवान्. अतः अर्जुनस्य जिज्ञासा द्रष्टुं शक्यते अत्र. यथा द्वितीयाध्याये दृष्टवान् सुतप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा सततिः किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत् तद्वत्. So here Arjuna is asking, is wanting to know that Purusha who has become Gunatita, means Jnani, Gunatita, he has gone above gunas. How do we know? Kaihi Lingaihi. Linga is a symbol or a sign or a mark, a pointer. So it's a pointer. So by what Kaihi Lingaihi, by what signs, by what mark, pointers, that is criteria, conditions. Etan Treen Gunan Atitaha Bhavati. By what a person can be identified as a one who has Atitaha, crossed all the three gunas. That person is Gunatita. It means how a person can be known as a Gunatita. A person who is above all the three gunas. Even though that person has a body, acts in the world with the body, mind, sense organs, but he doesn't have Sharira Abhimana. Therefore, Gunatitaha in terms of Jnanam. This Shariram is made of three gunas. Because it is a product of Panchabhuta, this Panchabhautikam, And Panchabhuta has come from Maya Sagita Brahma, Tanmatras, Tasmad Etasmat, Tasmad Etasmat Akasha Sambhutaha, Akashat Vayu, Vayu Ragni, Agnirapa, Adhyas Prithvi, Prithivyam Aushadayaha, Tanmatra then undergoes Panchikaranam and therefore becomes sense, the sense organs, mind, etc. and gross elements and therefore gross Shariram. So gross Shariram implies the three gunas. So Gunatitaha means in terms of Jnanam. Sharira, Shariravaanapi, Ashariram, Ashariraha, Shariravaanapi, Ashariraha. Even though he has got Shariram, but he is still Asharira. It means Dehavimanaha Nasti. That's it, Gunatitaha. Gone above, not that is without gunas. Shariram is which is Mithya, has gunas. Atma doesn't have these gunas. There is no Sattva Atma, Rajasa Atma, Tamasika Atma. Atma is Atma. But that is what we saw in the previous class. Vidya Vinay Sampanne, Brahmane Gavyastani, Sureshvaiva Shvakecha. So in the three different things where three gunas are dominant, Brahma Pashyati, Samadarshinaha, Panditaha, same. Gunatitaha, Jnanava Nityataha. So Gunatitaha Bhavati, Tasya. Different words referring to the same thing. Second chapter is Sthitaprajnaha. Here it is Gunatitaha. Because chapter is Gunatraya Vibhagaha, therefore Gunatitaha. So Tasya Kim Acharaha. Same thing is asking. Kim Prabhasheta, Kim Asita, Yata Arjunena Prishtam Purvam. Tadvata Atra Kim Acharaha. How does such a person, that is Gunatitaha, how does such a person acts in the Vyavahara, in the daily life? What are the Lakshanas? What are the Lakshanas of a Gunatita? Lakshana that by which you can distinguish a person from other persons. Therefore, distinguishing characteristics of a Gunatita, who is above all the gunas. So, that is the second question. First one who is Gunatita, then Kimacharaha, how does he act? Katam etan trin gunan ativartate. But how is it possible for that person? How, by what, that person has become a Gunatita? He could uplift himself from the hold of these three gunas. How does he become a Gunatita? Iti Tritiya Prashnaha. The three questions are asked. So Gunatita, who is Gunatita? What are its Lakshanas? And how does one become a Gunatita? So the questions are similar, only the context is different. So Gunatitaha. Katam gunan atitaha atikrantaha bhavati. Tasya acharaha katam bhavati. Katam atva kena prakarena. Trin gunan ativartate, atitya vartate. Iti treyaha prashnaha Arjunasya. Now, Bhagavan will reply. The first part of the question, Bhagavan replies in the next shloka. Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Prakasham cha pravrittim cha bhogameva cha pandava.
Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohamev cha pandava.
Nadveshti sampravrittani nanivartani kankshati.
Nadveshti sampravrittani nanivrittani kankshati.
Bhagavan uvacha Gunatisya antariki sthitihi ka iti Bhagavan vadati. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. Satvena gunaha I am janima gunaha karyam kurvanti, sakaryam kurvanti. Presence of a certain guna is inferred from its karya. Karya is the indicator of the presence of gunas. I am sleeping, therefore I am lazy, alasya, or nidra, sleeping, then tamo guna is the cause. Tamo gunaha, tamo gunanam, tamo gunasya karyam, nidra, alasim, pramadaha, ityadaya. So, karyat, karanam, karanagyanam bhavati. So, prakashaha asti, prakashaha, light, knowledge, illumination, katam bhavati satvena. Satvena prakashaha yata pravrittihi rajasa bhavati. Mogaha tamasa. Satvena prakashaha jayate. Rajasa pravrittihi jayate. Tamasa mogaha. Gunatitaha purushaha tan prati dvesham na karoti na dveshti. Yada yete nivartante tada saha tesham आकांक्षां न करोति इत्युक्ते साक्षिभूतः एव तिष्ठति प्रवृत्तानि न कांक्षति तं प्रवृत्तानि न द्वेष्टि that is प्रकाशं क्षम्यतां प्रकाशः प्रवृत्तिः मोगः by saying by mentioning these words Bhagavan points out these are the products karya of sattva rajas and tamas respectively. So prakashaha sattva jayate. These three are manifestation of the sattva, rajas and tamoguna respectively. Prakasha is manifestation of jnanam, that is sattva. Jnanam referring to knowledge. Knowledge happens. When does knowledge happen? When sattva is dominant, then only knowledge. When learning happens, that time you can assume sattva is dominant. All the three gunas are present in a person, but certain guna is dominant in a particular situation. When knowledge happens during the class, that sattva is dominant. Any knowledge, even if it is not only paravidya, even other aparavidya, any knowledge. So sattvam and so therefore jnanam prakashati prakashaha, because it is prakashaha, jnanam, and sukham also, jnana sukham, sattvika sukham. And pravritti is action. So pravritti, engaging in action. Engagement in action either due to its one's sense of sadharma or the action prompted by desire for various objects. So desire, that is rajas. Desire is an indication of rajas, manifests as rajas. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha. Bhagavan has already told in the third chapter. Yeshaha kamaha yeshaha krodha rajo guna samudbhavaha. It is born of rajoguna because kama is sad and therefore there is pravritti, there is karma. So that therefore pravritti is manifestation of the kama, or this is rajoguna. Because of rajoguna there is kama. And moha is delusion, dullness, not able to understand, discriminate, or even decide. That is moha. Like Arjuna in the first chapter, overpowered by raga dvesha and therefore moha bhutva, then he throws all the arrows and the bow. Then just tato pasto upavishat, just sat in the rata. Moha, not able to act. In this moha, it is confusion, not able to decide, indecisiveness. That is manifestation of tamoguna. So these three gunas are present in every beings, every person in different orders, different magnitudes, different intensities. These are present. Therefore, every anubhava of every person is because of these three gunas. Therefore, these three gunas alone manifest in differently in different times, in different contexts. Is three. Therefore, sampravartani, nivrittani cha. Therefore, these gunas, this experience of the products of these three gunas, they sampravartani appear, nivrittani disappear, occur, and then goes away. So it is not the same guna will be there throughout. So sampravartani etani nivrittani cha. Therefore, with regard to them, not dveshti, gunatitaha not dveshti, neither hates, not kankshati, nor is particular it. After it. Neither he hates rajas or tamas, neither he aspires for guna, because it's a sattva guna. Because even though sattva is better than rajas and tamas, that is from the standpoint of knowledge, etc. You cannot say, even you cannot differentiate, you cannot compare, because rajas also is important, tamas also. Without tamas, without tama guna, how can we gain a rest? Without rest, the body will rest. Sleep is also important. If only rajas is there, then the person will be shattered. His lifespan will reduce. When sattva alone is there, then also same problem. So tamas, during night, tamas is predominant. It should be. That is the order. So therefore, a gunatita, a jnani also has got these three gunas. His shariram has three gunas, not he. He knows because aham gunatitaha brahma atma iti sarajanati. Therefore, he doesn't have dvesha for any of these gunas, or na raga, na kankshati, na dveshti, na kankshati. Because these are natural things, these gunas appear and disappear. So it doesn't look upon as something which is undesirable manifestation or desirable. Here being what it is the order. Therefore, there is no longing and craving for them. So the appearance of prakasha, pravritti, or moha, or disappearance of that, these are products of the three gunas. These do not have any effect on the gunatita, the one who is above all the three gunas. Who is above all the three gunas means in terms of it is knowledge. That is, he knows that aham is, I am above all the three gunas. It is possible only for those people, those person who knows aham atma brahma iti. Aham atma iti, that atma abhimana, when it is placed in paramatma, not in guna, then he become asangaha. Then asangaha, therefore gunatitaha, not bound, ever free. Therefore only gunatitaha. If gunatitaha, therefore gunatitaha, when we say, so gunatitaha is the natural avastha, swabhavika avastha of, that is it, of atma, atmana swarupa. So how to become a gunatita? Aham atma gunatitaha. Because of ajnanam gunavan iti matva samsarami loke. Therefore, aham atma, that one has to recognize. Tena gunatitaha bhavati. So Arjuna's first question was, who is a gunatita? That person is gunatita, saha yaha na dveshti. Yaha na dveshti na kankshati. That person is a gunatita. So pravrittani, sampravrittani, na dveshti, na kankshati. Sampravrittani निवृत्तानि संप्रवृत्तानि यदा यदा संप्रवृत्ताः भवन्ति एते गुणाः निवृत्ताः भवन्ति तेषां प्रति गुणातीतः द्वेषं न करोति आकांक्षां प्रतीक्षामपि न करोति सः गुणातीतः. So here pravrittani napumsakalinga because prakasha pravritti moham etani karyani guna karyani. Therefore guna karyeshu na dveshti न कांक्षति. गुना कार्याणि संप्रवृत्तानि भवन्ति कदाचित् कदाचित् निवृत्तानि भवन्ति तेषु गुणकार्येषु न द्वेष्टि न कांक्षति. यो न द्वेष्टि न कांक्षति. Second chapter also same words were used. Next, this is the answer to the first question of the Arjuna. The second, the question what Arjuna asked, that Acharya, when Bhagavan here, he says, what is the second question? What are the distinguishing characteristics of the Gunatita? That is said in the next shloka. Udasina vadasino gunairyo na vichalyate.
उदासीनवदासीनो गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते
Guna vartanta gityevam yovatiष्ठति नेङ्गते.
गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येवं योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते.
In fact, in the next three shloka, Gunatitanam Lakshanani Uchyante. Three shloka, 24, 25, and 26. That was the second question of Arjuna. So, Udasinavat Asinaha. Gunatitaha Purushaha Udasinavat Tishtati Asinaha. Sukha Dukkha Adibhigi Guna Karyegi Na Vichalyate. Saha Vichalitaha Na Bhavati. Gunaha Guneshu Vartate iti Matva. Saha Atmani Eva Stitaha Bhavati. Prakriti Vikarehi Sharira Dishu Tadatyam Na Karoti. Gunatitaha Purushaha Udasinavat Bhavati. Udasinavat Asinaha. So Udasinavat, it is Vati Pratyaya. Like a Udasina, a Gunatita. How does he, what is Lakshana characteristics? The first one, he conducts himself in daily life as one who abides in himself. Atmani eva Atmana Santushtaha. He just ever remaining uninvolved, not unconcerned, just a witness, Sakshi Bhutva, to everything what happens. Everything what happens in life or around is due to prarabdha. As Ramana Maharishi says, whatever is destined to happen will happen. Do what you may to prevent it. This is certain. And whatever is destined not to happen will not happen. Try as you may. Therefore, just to remain silent, Sakshi, that is Gunatitaha. He appreciates the order and just remains as Sakshi, Gunatitaha. So, Bhagavan has said in the 22nd shloka, Gunatita Upadrashta Anumanta cha, the 13th chapter, not here, 13th chapter, Upadrashta cha Anumanta cha. So, Upadrashta Anumanta, that is the witness, Shuddha Chaitanya Sakshi Swarupa Atma, just as a witness of all the activities of the Sharira Manasangata. What gives existence to this is aham, I. Therefore, because of me, these exist and enjoy existence. Over which I will have abhimana. Because of jnana, the abhimana is not there. Therefore, sakshi, udasinavat, just remaining neutral, not reaction. He may respond to a situation that is required in given situation, that is fine, but he will not react. Non-reacting reaction is due to resistance. Response is due to understanding. The right response will be, if it is response is not immediate, response has got two steps. As I said, it is first is understanding, then taking one step back. So therefore, response. Every situation demands response, not reaction. Reaction is mechanical. Response is due to understanding. And that gunatita naturally can seem responding to the situation, not reacting. As Bhagavan himself in the war, he knows his own Kirtan can also were there, but he did not react like Arjuna. He responded to the situation. It should be fought, the war must be fought. Therefore, Gunaihi na vichalyate. Therefore, Gunatita remains unshaken, unaffected by these Gunakaryas. This Prakasha, Moha, Pravritti, na vichalyate, not shaken because of his knowledge, Viveka Jnanam. And these gunas vartante. Gunaha gunesh vartante. Iti matva na sajjate. Yata uktam purvam. Guna exists only among the gunas interacting with each other. So that is, therefore, what is my role in that? I, the Atma, just a witness. In the presence of me, I as a witness, gunaha, I see gunas interacting with gunas. Iti yaha avatishthati saha na ingate. Ingate na charati. Swarupa avastat na ingate swarupavaste eva tishtati bhavati. He remains, he abides in this knowledge, the knowledge of Swarupa of himself as Atma, never moves away from the vision of oneself to be Atma. It means he's got no abhimana identification with these gunas. That is the nature of a gunatitaha. Then the next shloka. Samadukha sukha swastha samaloshtaashmakanchanaha.
समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः
तुल्य प्रिया प्रियो धीरस्तुल्य निंदात्मसंस्तुतिः.
तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरस्तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः.
Here also we can see the repetition of certain words which were used by Bhagavan. It's not repetition. The same thing is talked about. In the 6th chapter, Samaloshtasma Kanchanaha, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha, Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Samaloshtasma Kanchanaha. Samaloshtasma Kanchanaha, the word has been used and we have seen before. Similarly, Tulya Nindatma Samsutihi, that in the 12th chapter, we have seen Tulya Nindatma Samsutihi, Tulya Ninda Sutir Moni. Moni there, this Moni Santushto Yena Kenachit Aniketa Stiramaktihi Bhaktiman Me Priho Naraha in Bhakti Yoga. So here, these are all the Lakshanas. The Lakshana is spread all over. Not only in 2nd chapter, here in the 13th chapter, 12th chapter, in the 6th chapter, 5th chapter. In fact, in the 5th chapter, there are many, 4th chapter. All these are Lakshanas. You can collect all these shlokas and talk on that. That is the prajna, prajnasya lakshanani. So samadukka sukha, samadukka, samadukka sukha swastaha. Swastaha, tasmin tishtati. यः आत्मभावे स्थितः स्वस्थः तस्य कृते सुखं दुःखं च समानं भवति समः यथा मृत्तिकां पाषाणं स्वर्णं च समानदृष्ट्या यः सः पश्यति तद्वत् प्रिय अप्रिययोः मध्ये सः तुल्यः समानं सः प्रिय अप्रिययोः मध्ये भेदः न पश्यति निन्दा भवतु अथवा स्तुतिः भवतु सः सर्वदा समचित्तः एव भवति तिष्ठति समदुःख सुखः referring to that person dukkha samadukka sukha. It's a compound, it's a Bhagavad. Same dukke dukkha sukhe sukham cha sukha dukke ittara dvandva. Same sukha dukke yasya saha samadukka sukha. The word tells that he is equal, his attitude is equal, he is balanced in experience of sukham and dukkha. They may ask very sukham if the person is atma, shariram is there, experience will be there. He doesn't classify or doesn't. He knows that sukha is sukha, dukkha dukkha. Just accepting as it is because it is how it is. The order is. It doesn't have any lamentation or it doesn't have any. Doesn't elate or doesn't lament. Accepting. Therefore, swastaha, swe atmani eva sitaha, prasannaha saha. So he is equal. He is not carried away by any painful situation or pleasant situation. So therefore he is not subject to when sukha comes, he doesn't get elated. Or when dukkha comes, he is not subject to depression. The stula anubhava may be there. We are talking about the condition of the mind of the person. The fire also burns him when he is dead. The jnani is dead. When funeral is done, he is burnt. Body burns. We are not talking about his body. We are not talking about his mind. We are not talking about any of them. We are talking about his how he looks upon. So how he looks upon, his attitude towards. That is born due to jnana. Jnanam swastaha, sve atmani sitaha, prasannaha, antakarana, the mind and buddhi is awake to the atma. He is atma is atma, but he is awake to the atma. The mind is awake to the atma. Swastaha. Sve atmani. Swasmin atmani. His own atma. It means he is atma, not own atma, the other's atma. He is happy with himself. So therefore, the happiness of Gunatita doesn't depend on anything else. He is always happy. Atmaneva atmana tushtaha. Because Atma is Ananda Swarupaha. Therefore, this happiness is not of Gunatita is not a matter of attitude. It is awake to this the truth that Satchit Ananda Swarupa Atma Aham Asmi. Therefore, his outlook is Samaloshta Ashma Kanchanaha. For Gunatita, the Loshta, the lump of clay, or Ashma, that stone, Shila, or Kanchana, gold, all are same. Doesn't mean he doesn't know the value of this. He knows, but he sees the same. Sarvatra Brahma Darshanam. Everything is Ishvara, everything is Brahma. Therefore, these have got values only from the worldly point of view. From the Adhyatmika standpoint, everything is same. So, therefore, a lump of clay or a bar of gold, both are same. He treats them equally. Not in the Vivahara, there is difference. A lump of clay is not a bar of gold. Because we value bar of gold, therefore, bar of gold is expensive, a lump of clay is nothing useless. But for jnani, it's not that. It has got different utilities. Just see them as they are. Doesn't add any value, particular value to it, which the worldly people add. You see the same Atma, Brahma everywhere. Swastaha eva saha. Therefore, tulya priya priyaha. Therefore, he is not after gold or not, doesn't eat this or just neglects the lump of clay. There is no priya and no apriya. Not after desirables or undesirable. Priya, apriya, all these are relative terms. How can we are using these words to explain the state of the condition, the mental condition of a jnani. What is priya, apriya? We think certain things to be priya because we attribute some values and therefore we like it. Similarly, we attribute certain values and we don't like it. Desirable and undesirable. That's how we label everything. But where is that? Where is that in that object? There is something. This in that object. How does it enjoy certain these qualities, desirable qualities of its own? Of its own doesn't enjoy. These are all relative terms. It is desirable for me. For others, it may not be desirable. For what to talk about a jnani? But he is tulya samanaha. He has no likes or dislikes, no love or hatred towards anything. Therefore, using the relative terms, priya and priya, we are trying to understand the mental condition of a jnani. Therefore, priyaha, priyaha. We like pleasant people, pleasant situation. We are after gold, bar of gold. If it gets, we know the value. And similarly, we are apriyaha, we hate painful situations, of course, death, jara, etc. But for jnani, is tulyaha, priya, priyayoho, tulyaha is same, samaha, because for him everything is Ishvara. Therefore, priyam cha, priya, priye, tulye, same, yasya, saha, tulya, priya, priyaha. Bhaguri samasa, beautiful samasa to explain the jnani. So, samadukka sukha, Tamaloshta Ashma Kanchanaha, that also. Loshtam cha Ashma cha Kanchanam cha. Samanani Bhavanti Yasya Saha. Tamaloshta Ashma Kanchanaha. Tadvata Tulya Priya Priyaha. Then Dhiraha Viveki. Dhiraha Dhiman. Buddhiman. Buddhi stands for Viveka Shakti and therefore Jnanam here. Viveka Jnanam, Viveki. Therefore is Tulya Ninda Samsutihi. Ninda cha Atma Samstuti, praise. Nindatma Samstuti, Tulye, Nindatma Samstuti, Yasya, Saha, Tulya Nindatma Samstuti. Is Tulyaha, Tulya Nindatma Samstuti, Manapamanayoho Tulyaha, Tadvat Mitrariyoho Tulyaha. There is no Dvandva for him. Tulya Aninda Dvandva, Sukha Dukha Dvandva, Chita Ushna Dvandva, Mitra Hari Dvandva. Therefore, he is Samaha. The Gunatita remains both in Ninda, that is criticism, censure, or Atmasuti, praise. The same thing is said in another word. Mana apamana yoho, mana and apamana, in honor and dishonor. So in honor there is no sukham, there is no harsha. In apamana there is no dukkha. It is not possible for us, but for jnani is untouched, asangaha, is tulyaha. So remains the same to everything, every person, whether it is friend or enemy, or whether it is disabled situation or undesirable situation. Because he is swastaha, saha gunatitaha iti, saha gunatitaha uchyate. And manapamanyaha, in fact, it is said in the next line. That is 25th Shloka, which talks about further about the characteristics of the Gunatita, which we'll see in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidusura suraganaha devaya tasmai namaha. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः जी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी. हरि ओम.